Tella, and I'm co-founder of Quids, originally Bitjoin, and we're building something very special.
How did you happen to get into the world of virtual currencies and all that? Because that's where it all began, I reckon.
Well, it goes back a couple of years when I moved to Sweden.
Yeah.
I'd heard of Bitcoin probably a year or so beforehand when I was in New Zealand, and I picked it up again through Twitter. Started watching it, getting price updates, and just watched it for some 6 months before I got fully engaged.
And this was in 2012, 13?
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I moved to Sweden. And I started watching it when it was sort of $60 or something, and I watched all the hoo-ha, and there was quite a lot of drama around it, and I started to. I thought, I want to maintain an interest in this topic, and the best way for me to do that was to purchase some Bitcoin, obviously.
Of course.
And so,
other currencies.
Yeah, well, after spending a lot of time on CoinMarketCap, I think it is, which lists all the currencies, I started to see a lot of new currencies emerging, and I would research the communities and look at what their value propositions were, and I took my first Bitcoin, and I ended up using that to purchase a number of other digital currencies. And I looked at some competitors like NXT was one of the first ones, Litecoin, Peercoin, BTC shares, and now I ended up sort of moving into sort of 20 something other currencies, and ended up with very little Bitcoin. Okay. I think so it was kind of like a spread betting thing, because I was interested in a lot of what was happening with the different value propositions for each token, each currency, and I was trying to weigh up what might be worth
getting into.
Yeah, and so I would buy a few hundred of this or a few thousand of this, and I began using Bittrex and Cryptsy, Kraken, all the exchange, and doing day trading and having a bit of fun with some of the stupid coins like Aurora coin when that was launched, and I watched it go to $90, like 99 cents to $90 or something in 2 hours, 3 hours. It's pretty stupid, but it was fun to play around with these new concepts, like Aurora coin was the Icelandic one with the airdrop, and so there was a lot of experimentation in the space, and I wanted to stay engaged with it. So I think it was the winter of 2013 that I spent the entire winter just playing.
So you're self-taught in this field, but you also have a kind of a degree in this, don't you?
It's not a degree, it's a they're called massive open online MOOCs, massive online open course or something. Anyway, it was in Cyprus. No.
Yes, it's the University of Nicosia, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And it was one of the first. They were offering the free course, and then people to go on to the masters, but the masters was like $11,000 or something. So I wasn't able to go that far, but I took the MOOC, and that was 12 weeks intensive. It was a fantastic course, and it really let me get underneath the hood of how the blockchain works and
get a deeper understanding of the whole thing. Yeah,
it pretty much just kind of confirmed my kind of beliefs in what was happening in the space, and my knowledge got to a certain level where I was like, well, you really need to learn absolutely everything, and this course allowed me to kind of confirm what I was, and that helped me to talk to other people about it as well with more confidence, because there was a long period where in the early days where it was like, is this just bullshit pyramid scheme stuff, or is there some validity to it? But as soon as you look at the mechanisms underlying the currencies, and you realize that Bitcoin is just the first implementation of what the blockchain allows. Then,
so when did colored coins come into the
colored coins? That was 2014, I believe.
Because that is the foundation and the beginning of quids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was very interested in creating my own currency, as you would be when you see hundreds of other ones emerging. And
of course,
being from the island of Jersey in the Channel Islands, it made sense that I would try and create Jersey coin, JSY coin, my Twitter handle. And then I looked at, actually this is very complicated to do that. I'm not a programmer, don't pretend to be.
It requires quite a lot from
Yeah, I mean, you've got to create the whole community, and people despised these spin-off coins as well. So I didn't want to be grouped in with some. There was so much bullshit around, a lot of bullshit coins, and I think it was actually my course, the digital currencies course, that led me into these meta tokens, the digital assets, and the further use cases of the blockchain. And that put me onto various ways of utilizing the blockchain, and I started researching the various protocols. I think it was the Open Assets by Flavian Charlon in Ireland.
And you went to meet him?
I wanted to, but unfortunately he was picked to go to a incubator in America. So, just as I wanted to catch up, and we spoke over Skype, but he's back in Europe now, so I'm hoping to meet up with him. But yeah, after looking at Open Assets Protocol and doing my homework, and then I went and I checked out a few other alternatives like Made Safe, Ethereum, NXT, Omni, Master. A number of these players were in the game, and I researched them, and I came full circle back to the Open Assets Protocol because of its simplicity and openness and ease of implementation. It seemed to be like cheapest, fastest to work with. So yeah, then it was like, okay, sweet, colored coins, that's the shortcut to creating a token or currency or shares or whatever you want to do. In the case of quids, it's a type of reward currency, and I saw that as a shortcut to rather than creating blockchain and a whole altcoin.
Yes, because that was my first thought as well. When I got the hang of what Bitcoin actually was, I immediately thought, well, why wouldn't any business or brand start a coin of their own and go from there and do great, exciting stuff? But another week into it, I understood that it's not quite that simple. But with colored coins, the possibilities are there,
and they're obtainable because you don't have to be too technically savvy to figure it out. I mean, I spent some time on Coin Prism on the site, and I just created a whole heap of assets. And actually, the core start for creating quids was I had a number of currencies, and I was day trading them and all these altcoins, and Dogecoin and Darkcoin, and no one recognizes these brands, and then I just kind of put two and two together and thought, why don't Nike or Adidas make use of this technology and be more a respected brand? They're likely to build a community faster.
That technology needs to be put together with the existing ecosystem of brands.
Precisely, and it's something that makes it much more easier to adopt, because everyone knows what...
To the general public.
Yeah, yes. Everyone knows what I can see that that currency is represented by a mainstream brand that's been around for 100 years. Yeah.
And there's trust immediately.
And that's something that a lot of the tokens have problem with, even Bitcoin, right? So the idea was to put, you know, give all the same functionality and everything as a digital currency to a brand.
While using the existing technology of the Bitcoin blockchain as a tool for all these new...
Because it already had network effect, so it was the most solidest, strongest infrastructure out there for the transmission of these digital assets.
It most certainly is.
These coloured coins, which so it just all tied together. But we hit an issue with the communicating the idea. You know, well, why the hell would Nike want their own currency? And so, you know, obviously quickly comes to mind the rewards promotional point systems that exist today, and using that as analogous to real world currencies, and it was able to bridge the gap to communicate, okay, well, you know, if companies are already using like gift cards and points, reward point systems, then it can't be much of a leap in the imagination for them to just turn them into digital currencies or digital assets.
Yes.
But then we had another issue. It was a case of, okay, well, why the hell, how the hell do they get these currencies into circulation? And hence something originally called TSAPs, which were task-specific applications. And I saw a type of app store where there were tasks as apps, and brands could come into the store and purchase kind of off-the-shelf reward programs as a means to issue the currencies.
Yes, and to receive value from their own customers and rewarding them.
Yeah, and that was like a real breakthrough moment, actually. I remember thinking, shit, this is now everything can tie in nicely through what are now called Quids missions. They're still tasks specific, but they're missions, and they're heaps more fun and engaging for people to partake in, and in doing so earn the brand's quids.
And the missions, this hooks into existing behavior of people, sharing, posting stuff online.
I mean, it's the tasks were originally kind of much more part of the physical world, and I was really kind of obsessed with the Internet of Things and you know, geo-fencing and these kind of things, and I thought that's really interesting to be able to do physical tasks out in the world and immediately be rewarded. As in, one of the simplest things when I was speaking earlier about it was, what if I told you if you sat on that chair I could immediately reward you for doing so into your wallet just by putting a pressure sensor you know, connected to our back end. So it's like, if this then that crosses over into the physical world, which I see as the long-term part of Quids. But the early stuff is very obvious. It's, you know, I mean, the prototype right now, we can reward tweets instantly, which is massively valuable as it is. Yes. And images and video will be in the next stage in the beta testing as well. So you've got something extremely powerful, which is outsourcing your entire ad and marketing operations to the general public.
This would be almost like an advertising agency that does not create any content itself. It merely provides a platform where companies and clients or customers, users can interact and work more like partners.
We're just bringing two sides of the market together, and it's a marketplace really for...
Yes. And the Quids platform opens up whole new possibilities for the user to spend and use tokens, points, call them whatever you want, quids freely.
One early element of the service I wanted to maintain was that the service should be accessible to multinationals as much as it should be to the corner shop, in terms of running missions and the cost structure, and actually being able to give these powerful tools to just smaller businesses as well as larger ones kind of levels the playing field in terms of how companies reach their customers as well, and the fact that the customers are doing this organic growth via trading of quids between themselves without any nudging or any encouragement at all, because they're the benefactors of the action.
And there's the organic effectivization, you might call it, of the whole procedure, when one brand's asset ends up with a user that actually really wanted it, when the users exchange quids with each other.
Yeah, whereas currently there's no means for that to occur.
They just mostly go up in smoke.
But what's really fun is how companies are going to use quids to engage the public in the future, because they're really only limited by their imagination in what they can, in the missions that they can create.